My bad. Whoops. Hello, everybody. There we go. Sorry, I was sitting on mute for so long in the setup. My bad. Anyways, folks, this is Little Nemo the Dream Master. This game is based on an animated movie that they came out with in like the late 80s, which itself was based on a comic strip from like 1905. So we are a little kid, and as you've already seen, we are feeding animals candy, traversing our way through Slumberland, and trying to defeat the Nightmare King, who's giving little kids bad dreams. Anyways, yeah, sorry about that, folks. I'm a dummy when it comes to a lot of stuff, but my bad about the whole mic thing. But yeah, as you can see, we've fed a bunch of different animals some candy, and they will let us ride them and give them their powers. So, you know, we've seen a frog, we've seen a gorilla, a mole, and a bee so far. There are a couple other ones. You know, each has their own advantages and disadvantages. But, yep, gonna take a quick intentional death there. Yeah, so we'll see a couple of different ones throughout the run. But yeah, regular Nemo's not very good. All he can really do is throw candy for right now. Nice, got a nice little damage boost up there to get that key. And we're off. There's no way this timer's right because I'm a dummy and didn't have my mic on, so we're honestly probably like 15 seconds, 15 seconds faster than the timer, or slower than the timer saying. It's world record pace, holy crap, he's insane! Alright, yep, so here we're in Dream 3. So there are 7 dreams in Slumberland, and then there is a 3-part Nightmare Land stage after like a 2.5 minute cutscene, so... Yep. This is an auto-scroller. Everybody loves auto-scrollers. This auto-scroller is actually pretty tough. I never made it past it as a kid. There's a bunch of falling spikes and stuff at the end. And it's, you know, it can be pretty tough if you don't know what you're doing. These days, of course, with a little bit of practice, anything's possible. Let's, however, not get ahead of ourselves. Let's grab that extra health there. Yep, so there are two auto-scrollers in this game. This one is almost entirely an auto-scroller, and then in level 6, it's sort of split up into sections. So the first part is a normal platformer, and then there's an auto-scrolling section, another platformer, and then another auto-scrolling section. So that's something that is a little bit unique about this game. I haven't seen a whole lot of sort of half and half platformer auto-scroller stages. Locust scroller. So this is the part that gets you as a kid. Ooh, and almost got me right there because I'm bad. Holy my moly. Make sure you got a good down button. Yep, so something I forgot to mention is that there are a bunch of keys. Basically, the whole objective of all these levels in Slumberland is to collect keys, which you use to unlock the door to the next dream. This level is a bit of an exception because it's an auto-scroller basically, and you can miss some. So it gives you 2 extra keys right here that you don't actually need. Finding Nemo, Captain Nemo, Little Nemo. No, no, no. All right, we're in Dream 4 the Night Sea. So what I'm doing there, see that little lion guy wants to talk to me and waste 10 seconds of my time, but as long as you're ducking, he ignores you. So you can duck and then pause and then jump again and avoid having to talk to him. Whoa, let's get out of here. A little bit froggy here. So that little fish right there, that pink fish, is actually an animal that you can get the powers from, but he's not very useful because we basically just want this frog. The worst section of the entire game. Alright, not bad. Big fan of the soundtrack on this game. Yeah, so one of the other advantages of the frog, obviously, is that it can swim really well. We're gonna keep the frog for a good bit of this here. Normally there's a little tadpole enemy here that will be a pain in your butt, but we despawn them by hugging that left wall over there. Don't ask me why it works, but it does. Oops. Slipped off the edge there, but not bad. The underwater part, yeah, it's tough. I have no idea when we actually started the timer, but I feel like we're doing okay so far. All right, this level is the worst level in the entire game. It's super long, and if you mess up, you have to start all the way back at the very beginning. But you get to skip the cutscene for free by buffering your inputs. I'm a colossal chicken, so I'm just gonna wait for that guy. So we're moving all around Nemo's house here. We're gonna go into the basement first. Then we're gonna grab the bee, and then we're gonna use the bee to get up into the attic and get some more keys. But there's a skip in the basement that you can do, which we'll see if I get right here. That saves like 15 seconds. Let's go. And we got it. A little bit froggy there. No pun intended. We got through. Yeah, so if you unpause while you're inside the ceiling on the way down, so if you're falling and inside the ceiling, it'll zip you left a couple of pixels. And it gives you a tiny bit more wiggle room to make it over the gap. Ooh, that was really nice. All right, headed up into the attic. Oh, uh-oh. Things were going a little bit too well there. We had to throw somewhere. Yeah, this part's not too bad. Kind of just floating around with the bee, grabbing a couple of keys down here, and then we're gonna make our way to the second attic. And in the second attic, we're gonna pick up the rat. And the rat, for whatever reason, has a hammer. Wasn't supposed to take damage there. And we can use that to make it to the very end. So I'm in a little bit of trouble here. I'm not supposed to have 2 health, so kinda gotta do some safety chicken backup strats. We're just gonna take it nice and easy here. Oh, don't kill me! Okay. Ooh. Yeah, the term riding the animals is a pretty loose interpretation of what I think is actually happening. Alright, we're gonna play this safe here too, because I do not want to replay this entire level, but normally you can boost off of that little turtle shell dropping flying turtle monster thing. Playing chicken here as well, just so we don't die. This is absolutely not the level you want to mess up. Alright, so we break our way, and now we're here. Alright, this next level is the one that's kind of half auto-scroller, half platformer again. And it's also got the hardest cutscene skip. You gotta do 5 of the little buffer jump things, and if you mess it up, you jump into a pit and die and have to restart, so. We got it, let's go. It's a little bit funny, because it's the hardest cutscene skip, but it's also the shortest cutscene, so you gotta sweat really hard to save the minimum amount of time. They're just gonna float up on the clouds. I love this sound. This is a good song. Do, 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 do. Alright. You gotta wait for the auto-scroller to fully stop before you move past a certain, like, X position there. Or it'll lock your screen, and you have to, like, go all the way back left so you can, scroll the screen right again. It does that again here. I think it's just, like, a bit of an oversight from the developers. Like, you can't hug the very right side of the screen when the auto-scroller's in. So what goes up must come down, and that is us. We have a nice juicy 1-up. Wait for the right time to go. That's really scary, but it's not very hard. And here we go. This is the last level of Dreamland here, and it's a pretty tricky one. It's called Topsy-Turvy, so everything is completely upside down. It's almost like Nemo's house, but everything's completely flipped. But thankfully, there's no cutscene. Uh-oh. Gonna play it pretty safe with that key grab, too. You can really cut the corner there, try and milk it, but you risk falling in the hole. It's not worth it. I'm gonna use a lot of chicken strats in this level, because this level is basically the place where you can try really hard and milk like 0.1 seconds out of it. Or you can just take it easy and be fine. So I'm gonna take the chicken approach. I have no idea whose house this is. I think in the movie it's maybe part of the royal castle or something. I don't know, that guy Flip from the very beginning of the game, who I told you was like a... Well, who I told you while I didn't have a mic was like a 30-second cutscene. Takes Nemo through there and, I think they get lost or something. Alright, not bad. Alright, folks, buckle up, grab some snacks, take a restroom break, get some water. We're in it for another 2.5 minutes here on this cutscene, but they're filling us in on the lore. Which I also already explained to you while I was muted for the first minute of the run. But here you get it firsthand, straight from the source. Yeah, lore dump. This guy. Here's the bathroom break, cook dinner, you know, make your bed, do what you gotta do. So, you might see that the category for this game is called English, which is a weird category name. I guess the only categories are just English and Japanese, and in the Japanese version, this cutscene is just a minute shorter. Oh, and they scroll the text so slow in the English version. Yeah, okay, so here's this magic wand thing. You might have seen it on Nemo's back the entire run, but you can't actually use it until now. I guess they just didn't want to have two sprites. But, yeah, this thing's pretty sweet. You can charge it up and blast a bunch of enemies. It's actually a morning star. Yeah, so you can charge this thing up. There are 3 different states it charges. That do different amounts of damage. So there's actually 3 bosses at the end. We're not collecting keys anymore. Oh yeah, here we go. That Camille just told us that. But what's interesting is that you can use it to move faster. So this is where the difficulty really starts to ramp up. So you can use it to boost yourself to the right with some well-timed button presses. So let's see what we can do. Nope. Well, we missed one, but that's all we're gonna do for this level. There are a couple in the next level, and in the final stage, there are like 25. And I'm probably gonna miss a bunch of them and lose a bunch of time, but it's okay. I had Prissy up my estimate. So we're in the clear. Alright, this boss stinks on ice. Uh-oh, uh-oh. That's not good. Well, I've already goofed it. Uh-oh. Got good RNG too, that's kind of sad. So for this boss, you have to stand on specific pixels or else you don't do damage to it, which is a very silly mechanic if you ask me. But this is the way it is. Yeah, it's pretty dumb. But it's like every 2 out of 3 pixels does damage, so it's not horrible. Alright, and so we're gonna grab the lizard here. You're supposed to grab that frog over to the left, but we're gonna do some lead hacks and not do that. And we damage boost up instead. And the advantage of that is you don't take damage to any of these spikes. So you can just hop through at super speed, not have to worry about cycles or any of this other crap. Da-da-da-da-da. And we made the cycle, so not bad. And we got the quick stingray kill. Let's go. Rip Steve Irwin. That's right. We took him down. So there's a little bit of a pause buffer you can do to manipulate his flight pattern. And that's what we did. This is where things start to get hairy. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm losing 1 million. So it doesn't really, you lose a lot of time if you miss those boosts, basically, but you gain a tiny amount of time by getting them, and a couple of them you basically have to get just to skip that lava there, for example. So the boosts are optional, you know, it's kind of a high risk, low reward type scenario, but might as well show it off. Nothing on the line, you know. Let's not fall in the lava. Yep, so we're gonna grab the bee one last time so we can make it to this rat who's stranded on the edge up here for whatever reason. And then we climb. All right. We ain't hitting the boosts, folks. Those things are impossible. I don't know exactly how many frames or anything you have to do it, but it's pretty tight. So now we're on to the final boss fight. And the time will stop whenever Nemo stops moving after he explodes. And I got the bad blob pattern somehow. That's not good. Normally this is a scripted fight, but we're gonna YOLO a bit here, folks. We goofed it. The way you play that last screen kind of determines how this little red blood blob thing moves. And if you mess it up, then you're just kind of in the wilderness. But at least it's a good soundtrack. Here we go. And he's dead. And that's the time. Not too bad. Thanks for the GGs, everyone. Yep. So that's little Nemo. We're gonna just get a big long cutscene here. We don't have to watch the rest of this, but yeah, you know, we save this King Morpheus guy. He's real happy. Everybody's cool. Nemo's welcome back to Dreamland. But yeah, that's the run. Pretty fun run. Yeah. So with that, we will move on to the next person in the marathon. Thanks again for having me. Sorry again for having the mic muted at the very beginning. But yeah, that'll be it for me. Thanks, everybody.
Fantastic Friday evening. I know I am, because I am going to be doing a little Gargoyles Quest 2 here for you, or Redo Arima, if you can read that there in Japanese. We are going to be doing the Japanese version because it is faster, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So, yeah. Oh, I realize I'm super blurry in that. I gotta turn the light on. That's okay. All right. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started soon. As soon as I hit start here, we're going to get the timer going, and that will happen in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. All right, so here's where we start out. Long time ago, there was this gargoyle named Firebrand, and he wanted to prove himself. And so this king here that we're talking to says, if you want to prove yourself, you need to go to the gargoyle training ground and do your thing. So that's where we're off to. And this is going to introduce the kind of side-scrolling element to the game, as well as some pretty unique movement tech here. What we can do is we can grab onto walls and jump up them, but more importantly, we can float. And this is going to be something that we will use extensively throughout the run. Floating all around, hither and yon. Right now we just need to grab this vial. Vials are used as a currency of the game. We won't be buying anything. So that vial and the ones that we get from a couple of forced fights is the only money we're going to get. That's it. So the rest of it is just going to be Garcore, as I like to call it, where our little gargoyle friend here is going to be grabbing and bouncing off of stuff and floating all over the place. So we're going to bait this guy to move. Of course, he gives me the slow pattern. Thank you. These little brown ghouls suck big time. because they spawn when you get close to them, but how close you get to them that determines when they actually spawn is random. I almost got hit there. And they cause a ton of lag, so we want to get rid of them ASAP, but sometimes they're like, nah, fam, and that's not cool. This next section is pretty fun, though. I'm going to take it a little safe here. We're just going to do a vertical jump there to get rid of that guy. Sometimes, depending on his flying pattern, he can fly right into you, and it kind of sucks. We need some HP because we're going to do a fun little trick here. See these vertical spike walls? Okay. Boop. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to jump up and touch just the very corner of that spike platform, which does not do damage, and just float over that stuff where we would normally have to go underneath and waste like 20 seconds. Who needs that? Not me. Alright, time for the first boss, RNG Nightmare. This is Nagus. Please be nice. Show me the basketball. That's my man. There you go. Perfect. Alright, that was the ideal RNG to kill him. He drops out what I like to call the basketball, and it just kind of slowly bounces along the screen and does nothing, and you can just sit there, grab that wall in front of him, and just plunk away at him. Good stuff. Very good, boss. Now the fun begins. We leave our little monster veg. Oh, the lore. So, while we were doing our little training session, that zombie that welcomed us when we got out said, hey, some bad stuff's going on. You might want to check it out, hence why we had to do that auto-scroller. And then we learned there was an evil darkness enveloping the land. So, now we need to go figure out what the source of it is, and then once we figure that out, we gotta stop it. So, hence our mission now. But there's going to be a lot of stages like this, where it's just these little transitional stages that don't really do much. We're going to use a little technique here that I call stuttering, where you can cancel your float and then resume it while in midair to get yourself just a little more horizontal distance. Taking a little damage boost there, that's going to be, you're going to see that's going to be a theme throughout a lot of the game, where we take some fancy damage boosts to save time with movement. Now, what we're going to do here, speaking of saving time, is we're going to talk to this guy, and we're going to say hi, and he's going to give us a password. Now, this password essentially serves as a checkpoint. We're going to be doing 2 intentional and hopefully 0 unintentional game overs throughout this run, and when we do, we are going to respawn at the last place that we got a password. Now, I need to obtain an item that is used in that village that I was just in. So what we're going to do is that as soon as we get that item, we're going to take a hot lava bath, and we're going to go right into the place that we need to be, save ourselves about, like, I don't know, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes of backtracking, and that's good, especially for speedruns. So, this little transitional section here can be very, very trolly. Now, I'm supposed to stand on all these platforms. Standing on the top of them is safe, or so it would seem. Every once in a while, they're just like, oh shoot, we don't know what to do with hitboxes, and you'll take damage from the actual mask thing below it. So I am taking this very safe right now. Normally you want to walk along them as they're moving. I probably gave up, I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds there in what I was doing. That's okay. Alright, here's the jungle. The jungle completely sucks. We have a saying on my stream, and it goes, never a clean jungle, because getting through here without getting absolutely hosed by RNG is very, very rare. So, pray for me, please. But we're going to do a neat little trick here that I call the Jungle Gym, where we're going to come up here, we're going to take a little damage boost here, and we're going to go zoop and just scale up the face of that mask with nary a care. That saves probably about like 5 or 6 seconds of having to go up and around behind it, which, hey, you know what? We ain't got time for that. Now, the nice thing about doing that damage boost, too, is I'm actually going to be taking an intentional death a little later on in here. Another example, the stuttering. Do-do, do-do, do-do. And there we go. Yeah, that's a nice troll job there. Thank you so much. Okay, now we can float vertically. Bump, bump, bump. Bump, bump, bump. Okay, now, this little part here is what I was talking about. We're going to go, and boom, die. We're doing this for two reasons. One, it's going to respawn us up here, and two, it refills our health. Whoops, I'd meant to take that damage boost the other direction, but didn't press the direction I want to go. Now, we're going to do what I call a corner borrow here. We're just going to borrow that very corner of the platform to reset our wing strength and get going again. We're going to do another one right about there. We're just going to, just with our toenail, just very gently scrape the corner of the platform and reset our wing strength. There we go. Okay, going to take a couple more damage boosts here into the boss and immediate death. And now, good. Yes! We got Stargoyle. Okay, if you take a damage boost as you kill the boss, then that little kind of whack sprite from when you get hit is what will stay on the screen, and we refer to that as Stargoyle. So I always love getting that. It's a nice little meme. Alrighty, now there's a big old lore dump here. We are going to talk to this mystic who is going to tell us about the legend of the Red Blaze and trying to figure out who it is. Spoilers, it's Fire Red. But first we have to come to this altar in the middle. We have to use this candle. Yes, that's a candle. You have to take my word for it. Unless you can read Kana, then you already knew that. Yeah, no, that jungle was actually pretty good. You know, and it's funny because when I did this run for AGDQ, I made sure to mention the never clean jungle, and then I had like a gold split level jungle for AGDQ, naturally. I got to drop and that's never happened before, and chat was pretty hype, so that was fun. Alright, now what we have coming up here is something we like to refer to as the jump. Because we have some extra wing strength, so we got to get over this big pit here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, grab the wall, boost, and over it we go. Perfect. Yeah, see, there's that vial there. I could grab it, but I won't. Oh my god. That ate my jump input, and I thought I was going to die. Oh man, that was scary. Oh boy. Okay, now we get into the Sand Palace. This is my favorite level to do in the game, so hopefully it doesn't screw me. We're going to come here and kill our float right now, and line up with this, and then... okay, that was creative, but we got through it. So I now have a magic or a shot called the Buster, which can have 2 on the screen, does more damage, and it can break blocks. And I didn't get trolled by the fishies. That's fun. They have another opportunity. Hopefully they fail yet again. This is it. Oh, I got debated by that fish. Normally it jumps higher, where it would be enough to do damage to you and knock you backwards, which is bad. But instead, it just came up to say hi, which is kind of annoying. Alright, damage boost there. Alright, now we're going to fight Sand Frog. This is another RNG nightmare. Pray for me. Oh, I took damage from him. Why did I do that? Okay, that's annoying, these little sand mites that it drops out, but unfortunately not. Is this game hard? Yeah, it is. It's definitely challenging, I would say. The speedrun is fun. I really like this speedrun. Alright, so now we have killed the sand frog, we have the gremlin stick, which was what we needed for that village, so into the lava we go. Game over, totally fine. Alright, so we got to talk to this king who has been paralyzed by evil magic, but We just use a gremlin stick, and he is totally fine now. And he's very happy with us. What we have now, not necessarily from this guy, but what we got from finishing the Sand Palace was a new magic called Tornado Magic. You'll see what the use of this magic is, and we're going to use it pretty extensively through the rest of the game. It does have an actual, like, kind of weapon property, but it has a more practical use, which you will see it will be very apparent once I use it. I'm going to go ahead and switch to it. And now we can create our own platforms. And this makes kind of customizing the way that we get through sections of levels much, much easier. It also essentially allows us to move vertically. That section in the jungle where I was floating upwards on my own, that's the only section of the game, or at least of the speedrun, where you experience that. The rest of the time, if you want to continue to move upwards, you need the platforms. Alright. So now we're going to come into here to talk to an evil king, and this is a pretty scripted boss fight. But it's another one of those things here, much like the Dragon Lord. When he asks you a yes or no question, you have to say no. Otherwise, he won't do his thing and turn into his evil form. Alright, let's see if I do this right. Please do it right. This is fun to do it right. Perfect. Nice little 3-cycle there on Malgor. So what he does is he moves towards you while he's moving, you can hit him. And then when he stops, he shuts his cape and you can't hit him. So you want to try to bait him into moving exactly how you want him to. Now, what I'm doing here is strictly for marathon safety. We're talking to the scientist, and he says, "Oh, hey, have you heard about my cool invention?" You have to say no, because if you do, then he'll show you what it is. And what it is it gives me an extra segment of life, which is going to be really important for this next section, specifically on the boss, which is easily the trolliest boss in the game. So, hopefully... Oops. Oh, don't hit me, thank you. So yeah, here you're going to see me use this this tornado platform a lot. You see, I did hit that little insect with it. Do a little damage boost here. So it can hit things, only some things though. As far as using it as a weapon, it's really not that useful. All right, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and grab that wall, and good. Normally I'd want to go up here to get over some stuff. But instead, I'm going to pick up this heart. We're going to wait for that guy to... No. Okay, there we go. I had to bait him out. We're going to wait for that guy to... Oh, God, the lag. This is why you don't want to do that, because it spawns that bug and with the other enemy in such a way that it just causes stupid amounts of lag. All right, speaking of stupid, we've got the Twin Guardians coming up here. I hate this boss with a fiery passion. Please don't be mean to me. Okay. And this is the troll job I was talking about. Okay, good. I should kill that first one here. I'm going to take damage there, but that's fine. He's going to hit me with stuff, but I'm going to kill him, and I'm standing right in front of the door. All in all, as Twin Guardian fights go, that was pretty good. Okay. Now we talk to this king, and he's doing more lordoving. I like that you notice the sounds that it makes when it's when the text scroll is going on. I like this one because the king is that sound, and then you get that sound from when Firebrand is talking, almost like it's trying to simulate their two different voices. I always thought that was cool. All right, here we have Locust Boy, and we're gonna try to manip this guy into dying very easily. Oh god, that's not gonna happen. Am I gonna kill him first? Nope. Okay. This is not the worst thing in the world. Yes, there we go. That's what we want. We want to get it in such a way that he throws that sickle right over our heads. Now, the fact that I died there is actually kind of a good thing, because in a PB attempt, like I said, we're going to do a second game over. in a PB attempt, you normally die at the very beginning of that Twin Guardians fight, because you can do it very quickly, just dumping right down into the lava. I did not do that because I wanted to have that extra life in case I died on the Twin Guardians fight, which I did not do, but I died there, which was unintentional, but honestly, not a problem. So, we're good. Now, provided I don't somehow die in the mirror maze, am I going to make that? I am not. I didn't think I was. Okay. Then we're fine. Well, we do die once intentionally. It's the unintentional deaths that'll get you every time. All right, into the mirror maze. This place is a nightmare. I am hoping that I do this well. So as the name would suggest, there's all these mirrors that can take you to all kinds of different places. We're just going to take the path that gets us through here as fast as possible. This screen here is really scary. We kill this guy, and then we got to come down here and drop that. Hopefully land on that. Okay, those spikes below me, instant death as opposed to just 1 damage. So touching them equals bad. Okay, now we do a lot of climb. Whoops, hello. Hello? Oh my goodness. Okay, this is interesting. Alright. Oof, that was close. That's always close to get through there like that. Alright, now the next screen that I'm going to get to, we're going to try to do something called gate skip. These are some very, very precise movements here to damage boost through these. Nope, didn't get it. I have the extra segment of life, though, which is going to help here. Let's see if I get the second half of it. Didn't get that either. Okay. That is a very, very tough trick to do precisely. So the fact that I didn't get it, honestly, is pretty typical. Okay. Take an intentional death here so that we can set up some movement manip. Come up here, bounce off this ceiling. When he transforms into the doppelganger version, if we hit him, we take damage, so we don't like that. Now, when he transforms into that, RNG. So, didn't get the greatest pattern there, but we didn't die either, so hey, we're good! Okay, here comes like a Final Fantasy, like, Legend-style lore dump. We're starting to discover more now about the source of the evil darkness that is enveloping the monster land. We kind of have our coordinates. We need to go and fight the evil Goza in his palace. And that is going to be our next big objective. But before we do, a couple things we got to do to clean up. One of them is we got to talk to this little dude right here. He's going to give us a password, and we've already discussed why that happens. It is a checkpoint. Where we need to go next is to the right of that palace we were just in. Another little transitional stage here. Drop here, and grab that, and just fall down, and it'll allow us to get over this. Perfect. That's pretty precise timing to get that, so... Alright, we're going to need our... tornado platforms again. Yeah, so the Game Boy version of this game, as you can see, it's Gargoyle's Quest 2. Gargoyle's Quest 1 was on the Game Boy. I speedrun that one as well. That one, the major difference in that one is when you're in the overworld, you can get random encounters, which is fun. Also, what we're talking to here is the only queen that we are going to encounter in the game. We've been talking to plenty of kings, but we got to give a shout out to all the queens out there. So, there we go. So the queen gives us some stuff. Now we're going to come over and talk to the king. He's going to give us some more stuff. Most importantly, what he's going to give us is another magic called the Claw. And the Claw is going to allow us to... It's the shot that comes out and will adhere to vertical spike walls and allow you to grab them without taking damage. And we will use that in this next level here. But first, we got to go back into this transitional stage, and instead of making our way back to where we were, we are going to embrace sweet death. And then we're just like, okay, done talking to this guy. We got to talk to this king again. And now he's going to give us the item that will allow us to break the barrier to the east of here so that we can get to Goz's palace. Oh, the claw. Exactly. The claw has blessed us. Hello, dog. That's the candle we needed to use to make this rock disappear. Alright, here we're on Goz's palace. And you see it, this kind of black and blue orb is our claw magic. Claw also does more damage than the Buster, so it is useful in that regard. Kill that guy in 2 hits, which is nice. Please don't shoot me. Thank you. Did I get him? Yes, I did. Alright. Alright. So here we're going to demonstrate the power of the claw. We're going to shoot it on here and just go boop and not take damage. Alright, now this section here is interesting. So we've got this ghost enemy. He is lighting up the room. If we kill him, everything goes dark, even your menu, where you're like selecting your magic and stuff. So we want to kind of bait him along without touching him. Now, we're going to do some fun boosty boost tricks here, where we're going to go, whoops, we're going to go boom, and then just jump up and boom, and 1, 2, 3, and grab that. Oh, grab that heart. Thankfully, I had the extra life from the scientist. See, that's what happened. Oh no, never mind. We're far enough along that it wasn't gonna make it dark. Okay, intense flashing during this boss fight. So, photosensitivity warning of the highest degree. You thought Magic of Scheherazade was bad. Take that damage boost so we can stay up here on the platform. Those are laser beams that he shoots from his fingers, actually destroy the blocks that we're standing on. So we stand in that very position, so we just shoot them over our head, and we don't take any damage. Alright, so that's goes it down. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to get here, and then we're going to go right into King Brager's fortress, which is the final level of the game. And we'll fight King Brager, and then we will be done shortly after that. But as we get into King Brager's stage, the hot jams are going to be on high alert. So for those of you that have your favorite music or jam emotes, get them ready, because oh baby. Alright, we do a lot of fun tricks here. We're going to do a little boost here. Those spikes are instant death, but not if you have iframes. Bust our way through this. More fun with tornado magic. I have it on, good. Okay. And we're going to go boost and jump on a platform here and dodge that dart and that one. Oh my god, I didn't dodge that. Which is okay, because we are going to just jump up here. We're going to grab this and refill our life. And get an extra segment of life, too, by the way. This next section can be very tricky. Get up here. Walk across that before you jump up, otherwise you hit your head on the ceiling. That's no fun. Alright, this is the best damage boost trick in the game. I really hope I do it right. Boost here, kill him, boost here, walk across the spikes, and... Oh my god, I didn't do it right. Ah, I put that platform up too high. Dang it. This is actually a pretty decent run up until then. Alright, this is going to get interesting, because I unfortunately can't refill my life from that jar there. It's gone. Do I have booster on? I do not. Okay. Well, you get to see this again. I did not want to take that damage, that's for sure. Oh my god, I didn't want to take that one either. Now I am in big trouble. Okay, we unfortunately aren't going to be able to do the Oh my lord, what am I doing? We're not going to be able to do the fun trick to get through that section there. We're going to have to take an intentional damage as soon as we get into the boss, which is fine because we have a life to give. So I guess now we'll get to show you the intended way of getting through that section. Oh, whoops, I need to keep that equipped and not take damage from that. God, it's been so long since I've done this that, yeah, what you got to do is you got to come all the way over here and then jump up here. Whereas we could have avoided that. Okay. Alright, now we equip the Dark Fire, which is the strongest magic in the game. Alright, intense flashing warning on this boss too. Oh wait, how much health do I have? Can I go for it? I have, oh no, okay, I have to. Alright, so we're gonna cheese this boss too. We're gonna sit right here, wait to take damage, jump up, and shout at his face. There we go, and that's King Brager dead. Gotta hit him 20 times with the Dark Fire, and then he's done. So time is going to be coming up in a little bit here. We have to listen to King Brager's death rattle, and then we go home, we talk to a nice king. After that conversation, the screen will fade to black, and then that will be time. So we talk to this guy. It's 8 text boxes here, so get ready. And time. Shoot, I didn't even get it sub 28. That's fine. I mean, that death late in King Brager's Fortress was not ideal, but you know what? That's okay. Other than that, the run was pretty good. So, I am happy. I usually do like a 30-minute estimate for this, because things like that can happen, so that's cool. Yo, thank you everyone very, very much for the GGs. I greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed what I did here, or you enjoyed my commentary, perhaps even a combination of those things, please do give me a follow on my channel. I haven't streamed in like a while, but I will be getting back to streaming soon. I do want to grind world record for this game. Overswarm currently has it. I think I need to save like, I don't know, like 16 or 17 seconds, which can be done, RNG willing, and me not sucking too. That usually helps. So, anyway, but I appreciate you all watching. I hope you enjoyed what we were doing here, and of course, you know, we've got a lot more really great NES action coming up here. So again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all around really soon, and until I do, take care, everyone.
All right, so this is not Crystallis, technically. This is Godslayer, which is a way cooler name. This is the Famicom version of Crystallis. They had to change the name because there were some rules about religious references. I'm going to be naming myself Axe in honor of the person who did the Crystallis task, Axeman. You may have seen him with some of his TASBot runs. There is a lot to explain in this run. It's going to look a little confusing, and I'm not going to be able to explain it all. And I won't have time to take a drink, so I'm doing it now. But just to give you a little precursor, the reason this version is special is that they left dev codes in, which means not only do you get the Wild Warp, which teleports you to predetermined locations, which is in the US version as well, but you also get 2 debug options, one of which increases your movement speed drastically, and the other which makes you approximately level 16, the max level in the game, and gives you a whole array of equipment. And we abuse this, and I say we, but I'm the only one who runs this. I abuse this to go through very quickly. That said, this is a difficult run to do quickly, and there are a few segments in the game that can cause you to soft lock if you mess up, so I'm going to take some safety so that doesn't happen. And we're going to hope I don't lose too much time in the Hellway, which you'll see about halfway through the run, give or take. All right, I'm going to count us down, and then we can start the timer. You ready, Apollo? 3, 2, 1, go. Doesn't look like a lot's happening. But first, we got to get the money. And now we got to get the sword. And now, you can actually skip this in this run, because we already have this sword, and we don't really need the money. But we need this money to buy this alarm flute, just like in the base game, because we have to wake up the guy that we got the money from, who will be asleep after we talk to Zebu. These are all story triggers that I'm hitting, and the reason I'm doing this is that there's one healing spell in the game, and you get this healing spell after completing these story triggers. And so you can see that when I hit an enemy, it just goes ding, because their attack is less than my defense. Unfortunately, the same thing happens for me if I attack an enemy and my level's too low, which is why this dev code allows us to move so quickly. So we now have a windmill key for waking this guy up, and this windmill, for whatever reason, opens a cave. And we don't walk there, we just throw it into the keyhole. Now we get refresh, 2, 3, 4. We're going to be getting paralysis here. You might notice I have 255 magic. Where is he? Alright, we leveled up to 16. We're going to go in this pawn shop here, and we're going to sell a shield here. And use that money to go to an inn, because I want to fill up my health all the way, because we're going to play this a little bit safe. We're going to talk to this guy to get a story trigger for later. 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to dodge these projectiles if we can, save some health. Don't blink, you're going to miss this run. Anyone can do this run. Gonna skip this guy. This game has the 4 fiends. It's kind of like the Elite Four from Pokemon, but it was first. We're gonna hit this guy out of the way, hopefully, and not get poisoned. Excellent. Now we're going to equip our Sword of Wind and refresh, because this is the Kelbesk fight, and depending on how he moves, he could very easily kill you without refresh. And he's standing still. This is one of the better patterns. So we got pretty lucky. Now we are rescuing the 4 wise men, but we passed up all of the game about where they get abducted. Okay, so we heard some sounds in the background there. Those are some monsters throwing flails. And how this game works, every projectile and every enemy takes up a slot on the spawn table, and those flails count as enemies, basically, or projectiles. They take up a slot on the table. There's a very annoying enemy, a bug that can paralyze you, that can spawn, but not when you hear that noise enough when you come in. So when you hear that noise, that's a good noise. We're about to be coming up to Sabera. That was perfect. Sabera is the first... this is the first time you normally see Sabera in the speedrun. And normally you have barrier and just stand next to her, but you have to actually kind of fight her in this version. There we go. Okay, so we are now coming up to the so-called Hellway. And you're going to see why it is called the Hellway in just a moment. We're going to dodge this butterfly, land on this. Now this is hard in the traditional version. Those paralysis things that can show up, they can knock you off just by hitting you. You just lose your connection. This is perfect. Excellent. That is the hardest section in this run. And we're not completely done yet. There's one more. It's very hard to control yourself here. This is perfect. This guy's gonna come in like a wrecking ball. This is Maddo. We miss our first hit, which is not great. Excellent. Alright, so we're going to be moving on. Okay, so we want to not get poisoned here, so we're going to go left, right, left. We're going to hang out on the bottom here and try to dodge that eyeball and this butterfly that's coming up. Dodge that eyeball, very close. Sometimes it's on the top, sometimes on the bottom. Getting poisoned is bad. 1, 2. Now this boss can be very scary. He has an attack that turns you into a slime, and if you turn into a slime, you have to use a special item to get out of it, or you just die, and we have one of those items. Alright, no poison, this is good. So we are now going to get flight. 3, 4, 5. And we are going to visit a town of nothing but women. It's the Amazons town, or Amazones, depending on how you pronounce it. And there, we visited it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to go get a plant that they're missing. So the reason we are doing all of these chores here get rid of these. No. So that was a safety to get extra magic rings. I just re-input the glitch. Uh-oh. And for whatever reason, hitting that wall makes you level up. And so we can now hit things as if we were level 16 again. But we need some bows here. The bow of sun and the bow of moon. The Amazons have the bow of sun, or bow of moon. And we have to get them a plant, and we have to appear as a woman. Because they won't give the bow to a man. And the bow of sun. Okay, now 1, 2. We're gonna get a necklace that allows us to get change. One of the wise men, Kinsu, who gave us flight earlier, says, shoot! Then he gives us change, and now we can warp to Amazonas. Now we go to get the Bow of Sun, which is here in this purpley red mountain next to the town of Styx. If you're having trouble keeping up, I don't blame you. But really, all we're doing right now is chores. We don't want to be petrified. These eyeballs can ruin our day. They can petrify us. Once we get the Bow of Sun, we are done with our chores. Chores are done. Just kidding. We have to get the power ring. So in this game, there's an item called the Power Ring, and what the Power Ring does is it will allow you to deal double damage, which is very important because there are enemies in this game which you cannot damage at level 16. Uh-oh, that guy can paralyze us and ruin our day. We do not want that. Okay, we have the Power Ring, so we're going to equip it. Make some room. And we're going to take an additional safety here. This is not something you normally have to do. He won't let us in unless we're a soldier, but we don't want to equip change again, so we're just going to glitch past him. Go to the inn. And now we're going to try to kill the big bad. So I went to the inn to fill up the magic because running out of magic is one of the ways you can kind of soft lock in this run. In the normal game, it doesn't really happen that way. In the Famicom version, it does because it's kind of hard to just run around and use your sword. Alright, Big Bad version 1 defeated. We are going to kill a god or two now. So technically that was the first one, but he's not really dead. He just exploded and that was his way of leaving, politely. Now we're going to equip the Psycho Armor. We don't get the Psycho Shield because it's out of the way and unnecessary. The Psycho Armor actually adds a little bit of lag because it heals you if you're standing still, which we don't do a lot of in this run. But the defense advantage it gives you is very large. And so we want to equip it because it's worth the few frames of lag. Now, if anyone can find a way to not have to get those bows, get past those two statues, those lions, you would shave off most of everything we did in this run, because we only needed flight to get the Bow of Sun. We only needed change and all the stuff like the plant and things like that. We only needed those to get the Bow of Moon. So we would just go right here, right away. So we are going to be equipping the Bow of Truth. And the Storm Bracelet. And here's where we cross our fingers. This is an RNG please moment. So this guy is coded in a funny way. He's only vulnerable when he's shooting lasers out of his chest. So he randomly decides an attack. And we found that the attack he chooses is based off of your X and Y value. There's the lasers. There's one specific position on the screen you can stand that encourages the lasers, but does not guarantee it. Ooh, double laser. Oh no, we need magic. This is why you need the magic ring. So that was my bad. I didn't have enough magic. So now we have to sit and wait for lasers again, and there's nothing I can really do to make the lasers come. Alright, he's going to try to turn us into a slime. We say no, and lasers come next, and explode. So flash warning, close your eyes. And there's going to be a lot more flashing very soon. Alright, we are going to charge up before we go outside. So this is the final tower, and this was the hardest section in the run for the longest time. And then we found a pretty fun glitch, which I'm going to showcase here, hopefully. It's kind of hard to do in the Famicom version. Okay, so we're going to equip this item that we can't use. And we are going to glitch past the trigger that deactivates these stairs. I think Axeman might have been the one who found that. I'm not entirely sure. But it's a one frame it's a one frame input that you have to do, and I'm moving this fast, so it's pretty difficult to do. And now normally you have barrier here and this boss is kind of a joke, but in this run he can actually kill you. So we have to get into a very specific spot. We want to kill him, hit him 3 times, and then 3 more times here. And time is going to be on the black curtain. And time. 13:42:43 it looks like. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And celebration. That is a very fun run. You really only enjoy it like if you're you really only enjoy it if you like know about Chrysalis, but it's a blast to play and it's a blast to watch. It's very glitch heavy. And there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of little micro adjustments you have to do. So we do have another game or two coming up in this mystery segment as we're trying to match our schedule.
Go.
It's me again, and this is Huge Insect, and this is a special game. There was a a recent publication of it. Forget exactly when it was released in cartridge form, but there's only like 100 carts of it. But prior to that, this was not only an unlicensed NES game, not only unlicensed, this is an unreleased Saturn game. And if you know about Saturn, the fact that they didn't release a game is crazy. So this may be a huge run. This could be a world record because I did one run and put it on speedrun.com 5 years ago, and now we're doing it again. I am ready for the countdown. Are you ready, Apollo?
I am ready. Let's do it.
All right. So, Apollo's going to be my commentary buddy because there's too much action for one person. Like Godslayer, piece of cake. This one, it's going to be a little more complicated. Start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. Apollo's never seen this game before.
I've never seen this game before. I'm ready to go. So right now, you're either you're in a pond, you're above the pond, or in the pond. So why not both? We got some Space Invaders action. Okay. I see it. You know, if I looked at this game, I would say you look like you're a huge insect. I don't know. Ooh,
You're not an insect. You're the little bug sprayer thing, like the old style.
I mean, that's it. So you got the tadpole, so we're killing all the huge insects, and I like you change color. I don't know what it did.
So
Change
that
color.
is one additional health. It's very important.
Oh.
And the reason why is that, like old arcade games of the past, these enemies are just going to keep getting faster as the levels go through, and they start shooting more and more. So these upgrades determine whether I go fast or slow. We want a P, which means laser for some reason, and we want additional guns. But it's complete RNG as to what we get, and if we don't get it in World 1, this is not going to be a fast run.
I mean, listen, if I didn't want to be around all these huge insects, don't go to the stagnant pond. I don't know what
Yeah.
I guess this is on your property though. So
I mean,
you're trying to do everything you can.
the ecosystem clearly is supporting the consumption of these bugs. Those are all those spitting fish that like spit like water at insects and knocks them into the water.
Yeah.
Like, if you see all of those, like, they got to be eating something, right? So it's kind of on you for visiting this location.
I guess so. That's why you don't just buy a place without. You gotta go take a look. You can't just don't buy that foreclosure just because. You know? Take a look.
I mean, this was like the 80s or 90s. Like, property values won't increase that much from then, right?
This is probably the peak of the housing market. Period.
So we are not getting the upgrades that I need. They keep giving me the extra health. This is less than ideal.
No, you're just health is great. It's great.
Well, you only get one extra health. Like, if you could stack the health, it would be fantastic. But
Yeah,
you get
but-
one. See,
but
now
it's
I
like
don't have it. And now it's not going to
it's a
give it to me
moral-
anymore.
It's the moral victory. You feel good. That's all. Okay. Okay.
That was an
Liking
extra
it.
life. My lives are shooter in the top left. You have infinite continues, so the lives don't even really matter all that much. Give it. Okay. We're good. Everything's fine. You see why you want the laser? This could be the very first thing you pick up.
That seems pretty good.
So theoretically, someone watching this right now could like download this and start playing it and get a world record before I finish this run if they get laser first. Yeah, I played this 5 years ago and just did one run, and I was expecting someone to see it pop up and say, a free NES world record, and no one did it for some reason. So this is your chance. If you want an NES world record, here you go.
Round 2. I like it. I like it. Come on, everyone that knows Overswarm, come on, like gotta take him down a peg. You know, take one of this is the game. Don't let him trick you. He's been playing this game every day for months. Okay, just go take this record. Easy. I believe in you. I believe in everyone. Everyone in chat right now. I believe in you.
Yeah, you can only have one bullet on the screen normally, but there's an upgrade you can get, which I am really hoping I find, that gives you additional shots. And so this game has boss fights. And you just kind of lead the boss a little bit. Oh, no. Yeah, so starting at the boss fight, there's an upgrade that's a skull, and it takes away all your upgrades.
Yeah, that's great. Great. I'm glad they put that in.
Mm-hmm. It's just like taking a death. Like that. Like, here's my death.
Fun.
Yep, fun. F-U-N. 2 ways to spell fun. F-U-N and Sachin.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Alright, we're moving on to World 2 with no upgrades, which is the worst. So we've completed the stagnant pond. I guess this is Colorado?
Yeah, I
There
can
it
do
is.
that. Or maybe like a New Hampshire. There's not enough mountains. This is like New Hampshire.
Mm.
So,
Good call. Like, the mountains could be behind us, but probably New Hampshire.
yeah. I really like. I like the setup of the double shooter though. Good. It's nice.
What's really funny about the double shooter is that you technically have 3 guns on screen, but only 2 of them shoot now. Your little side cannon shoot, but the main one doesn't. But notice the speed of these enemies as they're coming through. They keep getting faster. We are on World 2. There's 5 worlds. Like, I feel like they made the first world, and then they just mathed it. And they're like, yeah, it's going to increase by this %, and they didn't test it.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? No one actually has to say that.
Stop giving me the same upgrade I already have. Give me the
They
laser.
just want to make sure. They want to make sure. Like, do you get, the double? Yeah, get the double. He'll like the double.
Yeah, the only the only upgrade that you can get 2 of is the speed upgrade, which is an S. And you start moving kind of like you do in Godslayer.
Ooh,
It's the name of the
interesting.
game. Speed. Come on, man. Come on! And now I die and I need it and it's not going to give it to me again.
Listen, you didn't want it.
I
So-
was very vocal about that. That's true.
Yeah. Listen.
I should have treasured what I had. I swear. You can wait for upgrades, kind of like what I'm doing. There we go. All right, now if this is a laser, no, that's a skull.
You don't want. No one wants that. No one wants that.
No. So there
Actually,
is.
it does look. It looks really close to the laser.
Yeah, it does.
If you didn't say that, I would have been like, "Why? What an idiot! He missed."
Yeah, and you notice how close they get. There's a laser. Okay, we are now fully upgraded until we get a skull. Which you notice that these things, they're very close to the bottom, and so it is very common to just randomly get a skull, because that.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, we do need a speed upgrade, but it's not quite as important as the other stuff. We're hopefully going to start picking up the pace. We have to beat 27 minutes, which I think we should be able to do. Like, sub 20 should be easily possible, but we had a really slow start, so it's going to depend on if we can get by without losing these upgrades that we've got. Don't want to take any damage. There can only be one upgrade on the screen, so one of the ways you can kind of protect yourself from the skulls is by getting an upgrade on the screen and then just kind of letting it slowly fall. So laser on bosses is much stronger. We got hit by something somehow. Don't get hit.
Yeah, I didn't even see it hit you. I do like the way that the boss looks. Funny looking. He's funny looking.
Do. Seriously, I don't know where this is.
Look at it. You're mean. They're waving the white flag, and you're just gonna go after him again?
Well, this is like a different colony, kind of.
Yeah, but you.
So I don't go after them. I go after their friends and family members.
Oh, okay.
It's different.
You're following them though. That's rough.
Yeah,
Like,
this
they
is
all- they
clearly
know, like,
their
you know what?
ecosystem.
We're not gonna be in your pond anymore. We're not gonna be in your woods anymore. We're leaving. And you're like, not on my watch.
Yeah. You don't understand. This isn't location based.
So yeah, this looks like, I don't know. We're just like in the field somewhere. I don't. It might be too green for like a Kansas. I don't know, but it looks very flat.
Oh, I wanted that. Where's the GeoGuessr guy?
True.
Oh, I got greedy.
Actually, I'm gold in GeoGuessr, so
Really?
yeah, you know, I'm.
Oh,
I'm
no.
the best.
That was all my fault. So there are a few patterns that the bugs can choose, and you can tell like what the pattern's going to be when they first start moving. But when they're moving really fast, it can be very difficult. That was a skull, but it's fine. I didn't have any upgrades because I died. Bum bum bump. You can't play this game and not say bump 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 at the end.
I mean, maybe that should be the name of the game. Just bump, bump, bump.
Bump bump bump. That I wanted to get hit first and then grab it. Then you can get iframes, and they didn't let me. So it starts getting difficult if you get to this stage and you die, because you start not only losing time, but you start dying more, because they start coming in waves, and the waves are way less predictable than the initial attack.
That's annoying.
Yeah, so it punishes you, so if you do bad, you're going to do worse.
Everyone take notes. Don't do bad. Or you'll do worse.
And those little red things that are appearing, there's one of those for each level you beat. So as you beat like stage 1, you get 1 red thing, and they block your bullets. Stage 2, you get 2 red things, and it just keeps going up. I knew what that pattern was, and I was in the wrong place. They look very similar, but one requires you to be in the middle, and one requires you to be anywhere but the middle.
That's right. They really do. No, they're coming after you now.
Yeah.
They've had enough.
Yeah, you really want to have double shooter and laser, and we got double shooter and laser. So now we just need to be orange, get some speed. We're gonna catch up on that time. I swear, this is the trolliest game. Yeah, I was stuck.
They're basically doing that. They're like, you know what? We're done. We're done doing the stormtrooper strategy.
Yeah.
Villains in a movie where they're like one at a time. Nah, if we just all go at the same time, we could get them. We could get them. Overstorm's here. Everyone's just watching one, but it's like a John Wick.
Yep.
He's got it. He's got it.
Yeah, so you guys might have seen the skull. You guys might have seen the pattern. They come in, they look like you need to move away on the sides, and at the very end, they snake to the sides. Okay, we're gonna have a boss coming up at the end of this one, so we really want to find that laser. Dang it. This is not good. Having single shot. This is the most frustrating game. Everyone should play it. Of course it gets me.
You're really
I'm selling it.
No, you're selling it. Like I'm honestly, I'm just gonna stop stream right now so I can just.
Just in the best of NES. To go for huge insect PBs. Give it. No.
It's a good thing you have so many shooters.
Oh, yeah. I've
this
been
could be
picking up
trouble.
lives, and
Yeah.
you get additional lives. Here's the boss. You get additional lives when you pick up extras of lasers. Give me the speed.
Oh, that is an angry bug.
Yes, it is. And you notice that they're shooting 2 bullets now, and they're shooting it directly at my location. So you can get stuck, which is why the orange is very important. And this guy keeps spawning bad guys until he dies. So you have to kill him first every time. I was going.
Once they start
being
learning to
greedy.
shoot where you're going to be and not where you are, you're gonna be in trouble.
I mean, they're getting it even shooting it where I am. Yeah, damage boosting is a strategy that's very good when you have orange, but not when you're purple. Come on now. Okay, I thought I soft locked.
That would have been, I swear, typical marathon run.
Okay, we are now in the sky, the last refuge of the insects.
You've developed the ability to fly just
Just to spite them.
Yeah.
I was in the wrong space. There's somebody watching this right now who's just decided they're going to get this world record because this is embarrassing. As embarrassed as someone can be playing Huge Insect. There we go. Want the orange.
Nice, I like it. I like it.
All right, we're picking it back up. We're picking it back up. Yeah. DH Dom made a good joke.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Boo earns. Boo earns.
Please let me shoot you.
Hey, you're in a good spot. You're in a good spot.
Ooh, yeah. I'll take that time loss. Get the laser back. Bum, bum, bum. Please don't shoot me. Thank you. Okay. Getting better. You want the laser. You want the laser. Laser's very good. If someone was actually going to speedrun this seriously, it's basically just play until you get the laser as your first, and then
Don't die.
just don't die.
Easy.
Which is easier
It
said than done.
does look very satisfying when that laser just takes out so many of them. Or when the laser completely misses them all, that too.
Yeah, I was playing it a little bit safe there, because I noticed the pattern that kept hitting me.